Hi team, out on the track again. We're looking today at the characteristics of sign or spoor. Spoor, just so you understand the difference, spoor relates predominantly, it's a African term, and it relates to sign made by an animal as distinct from sign made by a vehicle or other man-made item. It includes humans because we're an animal too, remember. Right, so the things that characterise sign, there's 5 of them that are the standard accepted ones. They are regularity, flattening, colour change, and if we look around here we'll pick up some others, which are disturbance. Now disturbance is a funny one because when I'm teaching tracking these days, I'm teaching students to look for disturbance generally, but it's actually one of the characteristics of sign in its own right. And transfer is the other one, which we'll have a look at. So I'm just going to pause, orientate the camera so you can see the ground, and we'll get some of those explained to you, hopefully with the light we've got. It's a bit overcast today, not the best day to do this, but as a tracker always does, you work with the conditions that you've got. Alright, let's look at regularity as the first one, although there's some great examples here that I'm going to point out to you. So if I just move you forward a little bit over here to this bit of ground, bear with me. And I'll zoom the camera in here as best we can, so hopefully you can pick up a couple of key aspects of what we just discussed here. So first off, we've got regularity in terms of we've got an outline, a shape that is too uniform to be made by a non-natural creature. Open to license and discussion on that area, but the core thing is it's a man-made pattern. There's uniformity, there's regular spacing, there's intervals that are measurable, obviously made by a human being. This print also gives us a couple of all the other characteristics we discussed as well. Consider flattening with the leaf material being pushed down into the print. The substrate here is moist enough to allow that to have happened. We've also got colour change, distinct from the undisturbed portion of the soil surrounding it, is this darker, more compacted, flattened, and obviously more moist area of the print itself. If we're looking for another example of disturbance, over here where I've just stepped, and you'll be able to see it, those ants there going crazy aren't just doing that because there's rain coming in, which there definitely is. They're also doing it because I've just moved back and forth over that area and disturbed their habitat, so they're disturbed. That's a very recent example. And if I was back here where I've stepped, this is one of the mounds that the ants build prior to rain. This one's I've partially stepped on as I've clumsily bumbled through that area. Over here is an undisturbed one and a disturbed one. So it's just, again, just demonstrating the principles we've discussed. So we've got some flattening, disturbance and colour change. Right. When it comes to transfer, if I was to, let's see if I can replicate it. That will do the trick for us. Move some of the material that was here forward. And you can see this carry forward. This is the transfer. So moving one material from its original location forward or to another part of the spoor that you're following. So there's some very, very simple examples. Regularity, flattening, transfer, colour change and disturbance. So they represent the characteristics of sign or spoor, and I hope that is useful to you. We'll do some more on this subject as we go forward. Until then, get out there and stare at the ground for a while. You'll learn a lot. So guys, there are some basic examples of tracking, particularly the characteristics of sign, and we're doing some more videos on that sort of area in terms of tracking skill sets. Tracking is not something you can really learn from a book. Books are fantastic for research and for fine-tuning and developing and expanding your knowledge base, but you really need to be taught by someone who can actually track. You don't necessarily have to be born into it, but you can certainly benefit a lot from having a good teacher. So get out there, there's teachers around, and if you're willing enough to go and look for them, they'll appear. So go and find someone who can teach you real tracking, not fantasy stuff, not make-up stuff, real tracking, and learn all you can from them while they're about. It's a dying skill. We need more trackers. It's a great skill. It's fantastic in terms of mindfulness. It will get you into nature in a way that no other thing really can. So go out there and find a teacher, get out there and do some dirt time. Cheers.